All right, what I got going on? I had a salvage business, a big ATV salvage business. I've downsized. Actually, I was basically forced out of business. But I still have a bunch of inventory, and I'm about to work through it. And this is a 2000 Suzuki Quadmaster. I think it's a 500, 550. I think it's a 500, 550. I'd have to look back at my notes. But basically what I'm doing is I'm going to park this whole thing out. I'll take it piece by piece, put every little piece of it on eBay. I'll clean them up. And yeah, just basically park the whole machine out. And this is not the sort of live stream I usually do, but I figured why not, you know. Throw it up there and just see what happens. So if you like this kind of stuff, you can hang around and watch. If not, move on to the next one. Anyway, I've got it also a time lapse. I'm time lapsing the whole thing too, so you'll be able to see it from start to finish, which actually I should have started a little earlier. This particular unit had been on the bottom of the lake. In the winter, somebody rode out on the lake and it ended up falling through the lake and it sat underwater for a couple of months, but it was fresh water and I don't see that any damage was done. I even started it and ran it, but the man that had it, he had started tearing it down and was trying to, I guess, I don't know what he was doing. But anyway, he ended up bringing it to the salvage yard, and I guess it's maybe because the primary clutch was rusted up. Probably after he got to that, he probably just decided he didn't want to mess with it. Anyway, he ended up scrapping it out. I bought it, but I did get it running, and it seemed to run fine, but I'm not in the business of fixing them. I'm in the business of parting them out. They're worth more in pieces than they are together. So anyway, I'll get started and get this thing pulled apart. And I'll be doing a muffin video later. I'm probably not going to live stream it. I'll just make a little video, but if you're here to see muffin, I'm sorry. That'll come later this afternoon. Just got some work here I got to finish up. Did notice this here brake drum is seized up on here, so I have to get a little creative to get this thing off. I'm going to use some hand tools. I don't know if that's going to fit in there. So I'm going to have to pull this whole shaft out so that axle and everything comes with it. And then I can tap that axle out of the differential. I believe this is a two-piece shaft. You got a side that comes in, this side will come off, and then that side will come off, I think. It's basically like an Arctic Cat, I think. But this is mainly what I did for a living. I did it for almost 15 years, and I was doing it a lot bigger scale than this. I was pulling apart maybe 4 or 5 units a day. I'll get this over on this fork a little more. I believe when I pull that bolt. rusty on this. As quick as I used to be. Used to could have one of these things tore down in probably about 2 hours. That's tore down, washed, and everything. I'll tear them down, inspect everything, and wash all the parts. There's quite a bit to it. There we go. Them zip ties. Yeah, it's wild. Like folks, these bushings and stuff, and these trailing arms and stuff, they'll wear out. And I mean, it's just crazy. Everybody needs these parts, and believe it or not, they're actually worth quite a bit. You can usually get these machines pretty cheap. Bolt down there. Right, there it is. See that? That whole assembly just slid out. That's pretty cool. I do like how Suzuki and Arctic Cat does this. Actually, Suzuki is, or Arctic Cat, the older ones, they were Suzukis. They were built by Suzuki, they just had Arctic Cat plastic on them. Most of the parts off these Suzukis will fit right on an Arctic Cat. Those engines on them Arctic Cats, they're even stamped Suzuki. $14mm. I think somebody's borrowed my 14 and did not put it back. It should be right here and it's not. Okay, I can make do with this. I like using them adjustables, but I think I'm gonna have to. don't know if any of you have a salvage yard, a family-owned salvage yard close to you. But if you do, the best place to buy this kind of stuff is family-owned salvage yards. If you go to like a big corporate salvage yard like Purdue or one of them yards, they won't sell you this stuff. And that's what happened to my business, is I bought just about all of my stuff through Purdue or Copeland Metals, and then Purdue bought it, and they stopped all that. Big corporations, they act like they're green companies and stuff, but they're not. They could be allowing people to buy this stuff, and instead of making new steel, put some of this stuff back out. Allow these parts to be used, or these machines to be sold, instead of just being melted down. That's just so much waste. And then they turn around and upload on their websites how green they are. Bull crap. No, I've been doing this all together. Heck, almost. Well, while I was working at the salvage yard, I was doing a little bit on the side. So all together, I guess about 15 years. Then about 9 or 10 on my own, full time. But if you got to go out and buy this stuff individually, like running around everywhere trying to buy it on your own, it doesn't really work out very well. Because then you got so much money in fuel and time, and it's better to have folks bring the stuff right to you. And this salvage yard I was getting from, it's just maybe a mile down the road. So I'd run down there every day and just sit there, and I'd sit up there all day long and just buy stuff coming across the scales. And this is one of them. That diesel Kubota at G1800, that come across the scales. Well, one of them did. The other, and I went out and bought it on my own. But yeah, you can make some pretty good money off these salvage yards if they're family owned and not owned by a corporation. If they're owned by a corporation, there ain't much you can do. They don't really care. See if there's any questions I need to answer. What's the dog's name? Cole. Yeah, Muffin, he doesn't really care about the ATVs. He doesn't must mess with them. Are they motorcycles? Well, they're ATVs, four-wheelers. But I part out everything: mowers, ATVs, four-wheelers. Yeah, these Arctic Cats and stuff, they had a lot of electrical problems. I mean, they're nothing special, but the parts are actually worth something on them. I mean, you can do pretty good on them. I mean, I built this whole farm. Everything you see, the whole farm is basically what I was just paid for from these parts. And I'm talking paid for, well, most of it. That was within about 13 years, I guess. One thing, it's hot out here. Stuff wears out even quicker if you ride creeks with them. We got a lot of creeks around here people ride, and that's another thing. They'll take these things through the creeks, and hell, within just a couple of years they'll be wore out, or they get to the point where they don't know how to work on them anymore. It's just too much wrong to really fix it, and a lot of folks, you know, they don't know what they're doing. So rear end goes out, they just take it to scrap, but everything else will be good. I grew up working on all this stuff. It's just what I know how to do. That, farming. I started out enjoying doing all this, but after you do it every day, you kind of get burnt out on it. But it is nice being your own boss. You can pretty much do it at your own pace and not get in a big hurry. You don't have anybody breathing down your back. I wish I had started doing this when I was about 19. Probably be retired right now. Had to move all my tools and everything's still scattered out from the move. Great big shop I was doing all this out of, air conditioned and all that. There it is. I knew it was around here somewhere. There should be a dang adapter here for that smaller impact. That's the thing though about not having a big shop anymore with toolboxes and all that. Stuff gets scattered out. That's why I don't like these Suzuki's. They got nuts on the back sides and everything. Most Yamahas, all that stuff is threaded right into the frame. You can just remove it by taking the bolt out. These are kind of weird. There we go. Actually, my grandpa, he kind of got me into all this. He was from the Great Depression, and he's always told me, you know, there's a dollar in everything. You just got to know how to get to it. I've always tried to fix everything I have. Now, everybody just wants to throw stuff away and go get another one. Me, I like the old stuff. I like fixing it. Apparently, there's a lot of other folks out there like that too, because these parts go quick. Yeah, I bet that right there is one of the guys scrapped it. You see how that's all rusty? I bet that primary clutch right there is probably about $400 or $500 used. More than likely, dude didn't want to spend that kind of money on it after it'd been under a river. There it is. Guess impact will do the job. Maybe we'll see. Yeah, it sucks that primary clutch is bad. Right there, been a good part to sell. The thing's pretty roached, which I might be able to run it through the parts cleaner and I don't know. I'll just have to mess with it. Might be able to salvage that. That's pretty bad though. Trying to see if that transmission was still freed up. It's been sitting for a while since I've had it after I had it running. I thought maybe some moisture had got in there, or I didn't get all of it out. I flushed it out with diesel after I got it. I'll never want to let that moisture set in them. It'll destroy one in a heartbeat. See what kind of comments we got. You have a chopper and you need parts. Yeah, I don't really sell any motorcycle, like road motorcycle. I tried that one time and I don't know. It just seems like there's more thieves buying motorcycle parts. I had so many returns on those, and what they would do is they'd buy the part and then they would turn around and send their old one back, and it seemed to only be happening with motorcycles. Anything that was on the road, it seemed like the return rates are a lot higher. These ATV parts, some of that happens, but not really like it was with the motorcycles, so I won't even mess with those anymore. I don't care what it is. I don't want nothing to do with anything that runs on the road. I even tried for a while running a Chevrolet pickup, like the square bodies and stuff. I was trying to sell those parts, and this one dude, he sent me his wrecked fender back. It's like, it's not even the same color as the one I sent you, and I don't know. And there's nothing you can do about it either, because if you're selling on eBay, they've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. And as long as you get a tracking number back, it says they sent something back, you've got to refund. So it doesn't matter if the seller puts up no returns, or because eBay policy, you got a 30-day money-back guarantee. So it doesn't matter what your policy is, you got to go by their policy. What parts am I looking to salvage? Everything but the frame. I don't like shipping the frames. I don't like doing freight. I just don't even want to mess with the freight. But what I'll do is I'll take the engine down. I mean, I'll take it all the way down to the crankshaft, and then I'll sell the parts individually. They sell better like that. I could sell the whole rotating assembly, but I don't like doing that because there could be internal damage that I don't know about. So I try to take everything down. And I mean, I could just throw it in a box and there you go. And you know, even if it was running, but there could be something going on, and you know, it might go out 3 or 4 days afterwards, and it's just not good. I'd rather just know what I have. That way I can go through it and look at everything. But I'll sell the rear end. I'll pull all that apart, check all the gears and everything, check the seals, and if there's any damage as far as the seals or on the gears or anything, I'll make sure to point all that out. But yeah, that's basically it. I strip it all down and I sell each piece individually, and I'll go on the Babbitt's or somewhere like that, and I'll look up each individual part, you know, brake caliper, your master cylinder, your cylinder head, you know, your valves. I'll look everything up by the part number and include all that. It's a timely process, but I mean, it pays good. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like anything else. It's just, you know, I thought it was bad on eBay, but you know, even doing these videos and stuff, I didn't realize I was going to get stolen from. I was like, well, at least I don't have to worry about all these scammers anymore. No, they're scammers no matter what you do. Hell, I got on here and started making videos on TikTok and stuff, and next thing I know, they're taking my videos and uploading them everywhere else. It's like there's going to be basically what my grandfather always said is there's always going to be rats taking some of your crops, and there's going to be rats no matter what you do. If you're selling parts online or if you're just everything, there's always going to be the rats and the scammers, and that's never going to change. Just gotta move on. As far as this right here goes, I mean, it's not bad work. It's time consuming, but it's pretty nice to be your own boss. A couple years ago, I went in, was going to try to do Generac, setting up Generac generators, and went in back into the workforce. And after doing this for so long, I couldn't do it. I got in there and boss man started going off about some stuff I didn't even have nothing to do with. I basically run him up under a truck. I wasn't going to take it. It's like, man, I don't have to sit here and listen to this. I'll go back to doing what I was doing before. Like, you're going to have to find somebody that you can talk to like that, because I'm not it. Anyway. Oh, that thing comes apart. Huh, that's weird. It must be an add-on. Oh, okay, that's a winch bracket. I thought that looked like it was aftermarket. He's got an aftermarket winch bracket. It's probably a 15 millimeter. More than likely. See, I do this every single day. I'm still doing it, and I'm gonna continue doing it until all my stock's gone. And I don't know if I'm gonna continue or not. Just gonna see how the YouTube and the TikTok and all that goes. But just trying to get all this stock worked through right now. Figured while I'm doing it, I might as well try to live stream it. But I don't know if any of y'all watching are familiar with my usual channel. I have a little Hereford bull, and I make videos with him and stuff. He's pretty cool. He kind of looks like that Rufus, you know. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but that's Brent Lockridge's. He's got a big old Hereford. He's like 2,900 pounds, and Muffin, I want to say he's right around 700 now. I need to take him to the scales, but he's a little bitty dude. But he's got a big personality about him. He doesn't act like a bull neither. He acts more like a dog. Try to make this little farming channel. But I might make some videos like this on the side too if they do alright. At least y'all can kind of see what goes on during the day when I'm not out there messing with Muffin. Might come off now, I don't know. Bingo. Actually, this four-wheeler doesn't look that bad. I mean, it's still, it barely even has any rust on it. That's very rare for a Suzuki. Most times they're eat up. Same with Arctic Cats. For some reason, the finish doesn't last, and they just rust out. But this one's actually pretty good. Start doing that farming full time, I might just live stream that all the time. I might have to set up a Starlink or something out here, because we're out in the middle of nowhere. We don't have cell signal out here. If you don't have satellite, you're not getting out. Even setting up like trail cameras and stuff, they won't even work if they're cellular. That's a Phillip truck there. Who that was? Got any comments? We'll need any questions or anything. Got 80 watching. Now 32 right now. Well, howdy. See you watch. Yeah, I'm hoping this right here will get the account monetized, because that's the problem right now. Is this account isn't monetized. I'm needing that to be feeding these animals. If anything will help on that. So I figured, Ben's I'm gonna be working anyway, might as well live stream some and maybe get some credit for that. Cut that one. Tell you what, these ATVs and stuff, they do have some good zip ties on them. Reusable. Got these little clips, you can just pop it and reuse these zip ties. Got all kinds of them things. I always save them if I can. They definitely come in handy around the farm. Gotta go get my voltage tester. I'll be right back. I need to check that stator. I'm doing here is I'm checking this stator coil to see if the charging circuit's good. That is good. It's staying at 4 ohms stable, so that's a good reading. A lot of people don't know you can check these without removing them. They don't even have to be running. Kind of verify the hard stuff, because you know, if you got to pull a stator, that's quite a bit of work. It's easier to change out like a voltage regulator than it is a stator. Used to have a lot of fun doing this. Now it's just a job. It's not coming out of there. Got a little screwdriver over here somewhere. Starter. Yeah, I mean, the bin under a lake, that looks pretty good. There's not a bit of rust. So, yeah, there wasn't much water intrusion, it doesn't look like. There was some in the crankcase whenever I first got it. I flushed it out. Actually, that ATV would have probably been okay to fix and run. I don't know. Find out and get inside of it. So I had it running. It's just there's a rust on the clutches and the crankshaft and all that. Sometimes they will run for a while. It's just that rust breaks loose and then it gets in on your bearings and then it'll leave you stranded. Snorkel for the CVT transmission. that light switch out, but I bet all that's good. I guess I need to drain that crankcase because I filled it back up with oil. I think I did. I think I put used oil in it. Matter of fact. It's probably 15. It must be a 20. 21. Surely it's not that big. It is a 21. Just pop it loose. Oh yeah, there's a little milk in there. Looks like some chunks. There might be a little mud in there. Definitely had some water still in it. Drain it, I can answer a few questions. Yeah, I've got a lot to deal with. I started repairing them there for a while, but you know, I actually like repairing customers, but my biggest thing is I didn't have the room for them. You know, it's you get everybody's machines sitting around, and then you have a bunch of machines sitting tore down, and you're waiting on parts. And I found that where the money's at is just parting them out. You know. Hold on a minute, I'm gonna go get this oil off my hands. I don't like having that on there. Thing's trying to find freaking tools out here. It's funny though, a lot of folks, they overcomplicate this stuff. I mean, they look at something like this, you know, and don't want to work on it themselves, but I'm telling you right now, if it's man-made, you can fix it. It's all simple. It's very simple stuff. Just if you don't know what you're doing, just get online and look up a diagram, and most of it is self-explanatory. They're very simple to work on. I know it looks like it's overwhelming when you're looking at one, but once you get into them, it's nothing to it. I think it's funny to act like you had to go to school and everything to do this. I was all self-taught. Just went in there and started doing it. It is nice and quiet out here. Not a lot going on. One thing I like about working here is just do things at your own pace and not get in a big hurry. Right about that. I think one of them's about stripped out. The calipers. That's the biggest thing right there if you're working on your own stuff. Make sure you got the right sockets and Allen wrenches and stuff, because if you don't, you end up stripping one of them out, and then you turn a easy job into a nightmare. That's one thing you don't want to do, is strip that stuff out. I laid one down somewhere. So I know I had it just a minute ago. I don't know what I did with it. I'm bad about laying stuff down and not being able to find it. Probably looking right at it. Just had that darn thing. It's not it. Huh. I'll put it in my pocket. Oh, there it is. Do this by hand, so I don't strip this out any more than it is. Funny, when I started this channel, actually, I was trying to make a 2A channel, you know, shooting and stuff like that, but YouTube doesn't really go for that anymore. I guess that's why Demolition Ranch got out of it. I don't know if you're familiar with that YouTube channel. He was a big I don't even think you can say the word anymore. I know there's Kentucky Ballistics, but I don't even think he's getting the views that he was. Went out and got a big 50 caliber and everything, and started making videos with them. Didn't get any views. Well, this is weird. Tell you what, trying to do this YouTube and stuff, there's definitely a learning curve to it. There's a lot of stuff that's not written down that you can't do. If you do it, you like get blacklisted and you don't get any views. A lot of stuff you wouldn't even think about. I know TikTok, if you're on there and you talk about YouTube or Facebook or anything, your other accounts, your views will drop out in a heartbeat. And they'll drop them out for a few days. If you got any videos where you're talking about that stuff, they won't get any views, but like after about a week or so, your views will start coming back on your new videos as long as you don't talk about any of the other platforms. I got to looking it up, and what it is they want you to, they want everybody to stay on whatever platform they're on. They don't want you going to another one. They try to keep you on as long as they can, and they don't want you talking about it. What I read anyway. Which, I mean, I guess that makes sense. YouTube doesn't really seem to be too bad about that. Well, I know TikTok is. They'll shut you down in a heartbeat. Actually, it's pretty easy to get monetized on there as long as you follow all your unspoken rules. No, actually, old Brent, he's the one that taught me about that, because I was mentioning all these other accounts and everything for the longest time on there. He's like, yeah, don't do that. Watch your views go up if you stop mentioning them other accounts. And sure enough, he was right. That's really cool of him to step in and, help like that. A lot of folks wouldn't do that. No, I think old Brent's a pretty good dude. Seems like it anyway. Let's see if we got any comments or questions. You got Muffin a wife, where's mine? I'm not married. I've always been too busy working. We are weed producers and we need that machine. We can pay with weed. Yeah, no, no, I ain't gonna be doing that now. Pay with weed. Are you crazy? Can't be doing that. Trying to get me in trouble, ain't you? Trying to get me in trouble. Shit. Man, look at me. They got me forgetting what I was doing. That adjustable wrench. This will work. This will work. Take much of all that. If you want machines like this, just go sit at the salvage yards. They come in all day long. You'll be surprised some of the stuff that comes through a salvage yard. Crazy, I mean crazy, some of the stuff. I've seen all kinds of stuff come through there that I just can't believe somebody got rid of. I'm talking hay rings and everything you think of. When I sit up there every day, I was like, well, if it doesn't come through the salvage yard, I don't need it. Everybody else be going to auctions. I didn't care nothing about them. I'd rather go sit at the salvage yard. All the same stuff they buying at the auctions comes through there. Oh boy, that's gonna be a tough one. That's a tough one. There's the 14. Oh, I had one. I rounded it off. My bad. My bad. Put the vice grips on that one. Well, I didn't need that nut anyway. Rubber mallet. I think I brought one out here. Just gonna pull that whole hub. Pull all of it off. I'll probably sell it like that anyway. This whole assembly apart. Lose them, that's for sure. Size. It's probably a 14 millimeter. I don't know if I got one or not. Oh, I did. See what kind of comments you got. Why am I tearing it down? Part it out. That's what I did for a living. I had a salvage yard, big ATV salvage yard. They're actually worth more in parts than they are running. Yep. Just take it all down, all the way down to the crankshaft, and sell every single piece by piece, and there's some good money in it. Like them differentials, I done pulled the diffs out. Them differentials, you know, you're looking at $400 or $500 a piece on them. But as far as continuing to do this, I don't really think I'm going to. I'm just trying to get rid of everything that I have here on the yard right now. And I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this, because I was getting all my stuff from the salvage yard, and they no longer allow people in, so I don't really want to go out and be buying on my own, because then you have to get all these salvage licenses and all kinds of stuff to go with that. Since I was buying from somebody that already had a license, I didn't have to do that. I had to have a business, but not a salvage. Just really think I want to get out of it. Pretty big business going on there for a while, until that Gerdau come in and took over. After they took over, there wasn't much I could do. Took all my business. Didn't see that one coming neither. Getting on that. I can try that. No, this isn't going to be my usual videos. I don't plan on it anyway, but just trying to get some views in right now and get this account monetized. If I could, I'd like to just farm all the time and do the YouTube. That's just a pipe dream. Oh, it won't happen. No, this right here is how I'm paying for the cows and everything right now. Shoot. There we go. That's what I was going for. Those bearings are good. That's in good shape. Differential shaft out, CV shaft. There we go. That's not good. That had water in it. Yeah, that's not good. I believe I forgot to check the differentials. I should have drained them and checked all that before I let it sit. I didn't. Yeah, this machine sat under a lake for a couple months. So I run it off in there during the winter, and it was underwater. I think he said it was about 120 feet underwater. pretty good ways down. Please don't be full of rust. Oh boy. That was just water, there was no oil in it. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. Still have my big shop, all my big tools and everything. I done be doing with this thing. I wouldn't. I had a couple guys in there working for me. Most of the time I was out buying, and I had some guys in there taking this stuff apart. And I'd come back and make all the listings. None of them knew how to make the listings. Look the parts up. Forgot to put them bolts back in there. It wouldn't have been good. I don't want to lose them. Yeah, it's not very interesting watching these get tore apart. Pretty boring, but this is mainly what I do for now. It's time consuming. Should have been live streaming these all along. Yeah, I have a pretty big following. This stuff right here is handy to know. I could have probably set up and got you in here a little better. Could have taught a lot of people about making money on their own. There's $1 in everything. I always like going to them salvage yards. There's some of the nicest people. You know, they look really rough. Some of the folks that would be up there all the time, but a lot of them are just really nice people. There was one old guy, he used to sit up there, Mr. Ray, and he had done it all. That man had a factory in China, and he ended up retiring, but he'd done it all, seen it all, but you wouldn't know that he was a millionaire. He'd come up there and sit and buy junk and stuff too, but yeah, that man was a millionaire, and he drove an old beat up truck. I mean, you would never guess this guy. I mean, he was well off, but he didn't act like it. He was really humble and down to earth. Really good guy. That's mainly what I miss about not being able to get up there and go to these yards anymore, is not getting to talk to these folks. I tried to get him to do the YouTube and live stream with him some, but you know, he's old school. He don't want to do that. But oh my gosh, some of them stories that man told. Interesting, very interesting stuff. He could keep you laughing too. He owned a repair shop for TVs for a few years, and then him and his brother had something going on. It was some kind of parts for TVs. They opened up a shop over in China, or actually it was a factory. But something happened there, and they come in and run them off. But he had private jets and all kinds of stuff. Mr. Ray, really good guy. Tried like crazy to get him to let me make some videos with him. He was definitely entertaining. Stuff he would come up with. I don't know where he'd come up with it. It's crazy. He was almost 90 years old, and he would be up there before the people of yard even got there. He was there every single morning. It didn't matter how cold it was. He was out there. They had him a spot fixed up before the yard sold, and had him a wheelchair out there, and he'd be up there every morning in his wheelchair. He was a worker, no doubt. Even here in, I don't know if you're familiar with the shell business in Benton County and you know, around Kentucky Lake. It used to be real big back in the early 80s, and he had a shell company. He even had like a diving shell company, and he sold guns, all kinds of stuff. He had a big old, I mean, the man was into everything. It was pretty wild. He taught me a lot about business. Learned a lot from him. Matter of fact, whenever they shut down the yard, I thought I was going to open my own, but Purdue made sure that didn't happen. But I ended up keeping his wheelchair. I've actually got his wheelchair out there. I was planning on when I open my yard to have him come up there and sit, so he would have somewhere to go. Because I mean, that was his reason, you know, to get out. I feel bad for him because that was his way of staying young, I guess, staying working, and he could go up there and sit and talk. And he would buy stuff and take it to the flea markets and resell it, just to have something to do. very intelligent. Need to lose them. I think after all this stuff's gone, I get it all worked through, I'm not going to be bringing any more home. I'm probably going to be done with it. Maybe just get back to farming. Farming, it's not easy. There's a lot of work in farming. But it's rewarding. I mean, you feel good whenever you've been out farming all day and come home wore out. It's a good feeling. This right here is just, it's good money in it. It's just, I don't know. It was fun at first. Not really rewarding anymore. Oh, it's a factory McCooney. Yeah, most of these ATVs, these older ones, they've done replace the carburetors with Chinese carburetors. It's good if you can find these OEM factories, because they're pretty high. See what kind of comments we got, if anything. I see old Muffin over there. Turn y'all around, you know what I'm saying. Well, I don't know if you can or not. There's Foxy, she's coming. Oh yeah. They know it's getting close to feeding time. They start hanging around up here when it gets close to feeding time. They ready for me to come out there. Honestly, I could probably let Muffin just come over here and hang out with me, and he'd probably get over here and lay down with on him. When he was little, when I was working in the shop and stuff, he would stay in there with me. He'd get over here and lay down and go to sleep. But he would get up every now and then and pilfer around and stuff. I think that's kind of why he's so cool like he is I worked with him so much. A lot of folks said he's going to get mean, but I just don't really see it. I mean, I haven't noticed any changes. I mean, he has become a butt to other people as far as not wanting anybody to be around me, but yeah, he's pretty good with me. I hadn't noticed any change in attitude. As far as him hanging out with me. Yeah, I don't know if any of y'all are watching or familiar with my regular channel, but most of the time I don't do this. This is something I don't really post. As for one, it's not that interesting. But I figured, might as well. If you got any questions, just ask. Pick this thing up, that looks like that bucket or that fork's bleeding down. It's definitely tilted some. Hydraulics are bleeding down on the tractor. Probably gonna start taking muffin in the house some. That's gonna be pretty cool. Video some of that. I think y'all enjoy that. The ones of you who watch the muffin show, Muffin Man and the Bull. My luck, I'll probably take him in and he'll fall through the floor, being so heavy. I don't think he will. Hope not anyway. I gotta admit though, it's nice and quiet out here. Not much going on but the breeze. Out here where we live, we don't get much traffic. Used to go riding a lot, me and my brother. It's pretty funny. One time he had an old Blaster 200, a two-stroke. Thing blowed up on the trail over at Turkey Bay, OBL, and I brought a rebuild kit for it. I got right there on the trail and rebuilt that whole engine. Folks are driving by and then they's looking, and then they come back and be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Rebuilding it right here on the trail." Well, yeah. Had it done, had drill and everything, honed it out and everything, and right there on the trail, and then brought some oil out there and fired it up, and I had a whole dang audience out there. Everybody's like, "He's rebuilding that bike right there. Look, he's rebuilding that engine." It's like, yeah, it ain't gonna take me too long. Those are real easy to work on. You can have all that apart in about an hour and put back together. And I had an audience that day. Actually kind of made me nervous having all them people watching. Even the park ranger, he come out there and was watching. He's like, that's the first time I've ever seen anybody do that. And then they was all making bets if it was going to run right or not. I was like, oh, it's fine, it'll run. Yeah, he rode that thing for another 4 years with that top end after I rebuilt it. Kind of knew the compression was going, that's why I brought one along with us. So, well, if it goes out, I'll do it right here on the trail. Getting tore down now. Thought that was a 10 millimeter. That's a 3/8. Must have made that like that darn 10 millimeter down. My biggest dang problem is I lay stuff down. I forget where I lay it. Upper A-arm looks good. Looks good. These foiler parts, these will start getting in high demand here this month and next month as deer season opens up. Everybody be out trying to get their ATVs going. And these right here will fly off the shelves. These parts will sell out quick. That front differential was good, but it was full of water. Probably had to pull that thing apart and rebuild it before I sell it. That's what happens when one of them sits under a lake. Definitely still have water in it. That's not good. It's not a good sign. There should be a drain valve on this radiator. I think it's over here on the water pump. See if this radiator's got water in it. I bet it's got something in it. Tilt that bucket on that, or the forks on this tractor. I know there's still going to be antifreeze sitting on this side. Well, I think I'm getting ready to log off this here live stream. Unless y'all want me to stay on, just let me know. Check it here in a minute. I didn't mean to spill that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end this here live stream. I appreciate y'all watching. I'll probably put a time lapse as far as tearing the whole thing down. I got it time lapsing on this other phone. All right, y'all have a good one. I appreciate y'all watching.